Good evening, dear viewers, supporters, and subscribers. My topic for this vlog will be history of how I was able to come to Australia. First of all, there would be a reason why I decided to apply for Australia. That's quite personal and still hurts when I recall it. So I'll just skip it, and we'll just start with how I was inspired to come over to Australia. I met my foster parents, Mr. and Mrs. Justino and Belen Rivera, who are the parents of my best friend in Pasita Complex, San Pedro Laguna, Mrs. Ellen Gonzalez. And they were quite fond of me when we met, and they were very much welcoming for me to spend vacation here in Australia. So my friend Ellen uh, told her father that if possible, if they can help me stay permanently in Australia. So that was the intention of Ellen. So they sent me a statutory declaration inviting me to come to Australia, citing some reasons, my desire to see the country, its beautiful places, like that. So I talked with my manager, an American, where I worked before, and with a promise that I will just go abroad for a vacation. So, but actually, there was already a plan not to come back. Um, could be my manager was aware of that, and I'm thankful that, in spite the intrigues, because I had an office mate, I learned later that she was telling our boss that I have no intention of coming back. So why give me a clearance or a letter to show to the immigration that I'm still coming back when I'm planning not to anymore. So I'm very thankful that Mr. Warren Beaumont was very considerate and understanding. So he signed the letter giving assurance to the immigration, to the Australian embassy, that I would be coming back to my employer, to the company that I was working with. But actually, I already resigned. I resigned, and then I was given a separation pay. Um, and I left my son, my only son, and I just talked to my friend Ellen and Sim, another close friend, about my son. So my son stayed with in the apartment they were renting before I left, and I just monitored him while I was here in Australia. Actually, my visa was just for a month. I was under time pressure, and my foster father, Mr. Justino Rivera, I call him Tatay, and and Mrs. Belen Rivera, I call her Nanay. I stayed with their apartment and high-rise building in Flemington area, and they were scouting for a fiancé to marry me, so I could be permanent. That was the easiest way of being a permanent resident here in Australia. So my foster father, Tatay, had a friend, um, my husband now, Pablo Soledad, and he already met me at the airport when I arrived. So somehow he was really very interested in me because he saw my photo in biodata form which I sent to Tatay. I was scouting for a job, but instead of a job, he scouted a future husband for me. That was Pablo, and so we met at the airport already. He was there to meet me, and at a glance, I'm sure that he really liked me the first time he saw me. But in my side, on my side, I was a bit reluctant because he was 25 years older than me that time. And I must admit I'm not attracted to older men that time. So that was our first meeting. And this will be a segment one, and there will be other segments to follow. That's all for now, guys. Good night.